The heat was punishing that day. The kind that made the skin crack and the bones ache. The Sertão was no place for the weak, and every man and woman who dared to cross it knew that survival was not just a skill. It was a destiny earned with blood. Lampião and Maria Bonita rode ahead, their eyes scanning the distant hills. They had been warned of a movement of volantes, government troops, coming from the south. Rumors ran like dry wind. The commander of Piranhas had sent reinforcements, and with them, a new trap. "I don't like the silence," Maria said, holding her rifle tight. "Me neither," Lampião replied, slowing his horse. "When the birds stop singing, it means death is nearby." The band of cangaceiros advanced cautiously. The terrain ahead was treacherous, filled with rocks and dense thickets of mandacarus. The sun hit mercilessly. Sweat ran down their backs, like rivers on cracked ground. The wind, always dry, carried with it the scent of betrayal, and then it happened. A shot, followed by a dozen others. From the hills, soldiers emerged like ghosts, covered in khaki, rifles gleaming. The cangaceiros were caught in the open, a fatal error. But they didn't hesitate. Lampião shouted a command and chaos erupted. The Sertão exploded in bullets and screams. Horses reared, men fell. Dust rose in clouds, covering everything. Maria fired like a possessed woman. She had no time to think, just shoot and move. She saw Zabale go down, blood on his face. She saw Mayanoite drag him behind a rock, still fighting. "It's a trap! We've got to retreat!" Someone screamed, but retreat was not an option. Not yet. Lampião found high ground and rallied his men. With a gesture, he signaled a flanking movement. A small group circled behind the volantes, catching them by surprise. The explosion of a handmade grenade threw 3 soldiers into the air. For a moment, it seemed the tide would turn. But that moment was brief. A second wave of soldiers approached, this time from the rear. They had been surrounded. The ambush was perfect. The plan had been drawn with precision. Someone had betrayed them. Maria's heart raced. She knew that look in Lampião's eyes. Not fear, but calculation. He was thinking 10 steps ahead. Always was. "There's a cave to the north. Small, but defensible," he muttered. "Then that's where we'll go," she said, without hesitation. The group, reduced and bloodied, began their retreat. Under fire, dodging bullets and arrows, they ran through thorns and stones, wounded, but alive. They reached the cave at nightfall. Inside it was dark and humid, but safe. For now, Maria treated the wounded. She tore her skirt to make bandages. She murmured prayers. Her hands trembled, but her voice was steady. "We were sold." "Out," Mayanoite said, teeth clenched in pain. "Someone told them where we'd be." Lampião didn't answer. He stared into the darkness, his jaw clenched, his heart burning. Whoever it was, they'll pay. The next morning, as the sun pierced through the mouth of the cave, Maria wrote, again in her notebook, "The Sertão doesn't forgive, but it teaches. And today we learned that not every war is fought on the battlefield. Some are fought in silence, in the shadows of friendship, in the treachery of those who once rode at your side." Lampião stood at the entrance of the cave. His shadow stretched across the stones. "We lost this battle," he said. "But not the war," and his eyes, filled with fury and resolve, burned brighter than ever. Next chapter, Lace, Betrayal and Redemption, the cost of being a legend.